Tonight on Elon Local News.
Safety precautions for Burlington Animal Services Dog's Day Out.
We were all devastated at the shelter, but it happens, you know, like it's going to.
What you need to know about caring for a four-legged friend.
Video creation could come to a halt with the recent ban bill on the popular app Tik Tok.
Student government elections started today. We have what you need to know about the voting process. Those stories and more.
Elon Local News starts now.
Live from the Jane and Brian Williams studio at Elon University School of Communications, you're watching Elon Local News.
Tonight, we begin with a report about the future of the Delta 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 sorority chapter at Elon University.
I'm Fiona McAllister.
And I'm Rachel Hawley. Thank you for joining us. Delta Delta Delta, otherwise known as Tri Delta, one of Elon's 9 Panhellenic sororities, has been placed on probation. According to Student Involvement Ambassador Aidan Connolly, Tri Delta is not allowed to recruit new members next spring, and the organization's operations have been briefly suspended. The Tri Delta National Office declined Elon News Network's request for immediate comment and said they would provide a statement later this week. We also have called the Panhellenic Association president, and she declined to comment on the recent incident. This is a developing story, and we will have updates on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Burlington Animal Services urges Elon students to take extra precautions while participating in the Dog Day Out program. A shelter dog named Biscuit is dead after running away during a Dog Day Out excursion with an Elon student. After searching for Biscuit for a week, the shelter found his body on the train tracks near campus. The Dog Day Out program is a chance for community members to take a dog out for a few hours. Senior Emily Andruzzi is a volunteer at Burlington Animal Services. She says it isn't the first time a dog got away from its temporary owner.
We're all devastated, but it happens, you know, we don't hold anything against the girl, and we appreciate her even wanting to volunteer in the first place.
Andruzzi says she hopes the situation does not discourage Elon students from participating in the program.
Can you take it out? You could just see the stress like release from them, and it really is a mutual benefit for both the dog and the person.
To students who participate in Dog Day Out, Burlington Animal Services recommends keeping a tight grip on the dog's leash, keeping the shelter dogs away from dog parks, and not bringing the dogs into on-campus housing.
The popular video creation app Tik Tok is facing a legislative challenge by a recent bill that was approved by the House of Representatives on March 13th. Our Mason Willett has more.
Tik Tok, which is loved by many Elon students across campus, is facing a possible ban for Americans. The app, created by ByteDance, a Chinese internet company, is suspected by Congress of threatening America's national security by surveilling, collecting data, and manipulation of over 150 million Americans. Many students across Elon's campus feel differently about the issue. Elon freshman and content creator Cassie Banulo says she doesn't understand how the social media app poses any security threats.
I think it's a big thing on free speech. I think that TikTok is a way for people to show who they are and share their beliefs about the world. And it's kind of the same thing as Instagram or Facebook. So if they ban TikTok, like really what's next for the world?
The bill voted on by the House of Representatives Wednesday was voted 352 to 65 votes in favor of banning the platform. The bill now heads to the Senate to be voted on. If passed, it will attempt to force ByteDance to sell the rights to the app within 6 months, or American users will no longer be able to use the platform. Banulo says she believes the ban would do more harm to Americans who use the platform than good.
I definitely am against the ban on TikTok. I love it. I use it almost every day. I don't know, I don't think that there's a lot of information that you can find out about me by looking at my TikTok.
As of now, there's no set date for the Senate to vote on the bill. Mason Willett, Elon Local News.
As for ByteDance, it has yet to make plans to sell its social media platform. It's time for Elon student government elections for the 2024-2025 academic year. Our Abby Gravely has information on what you need to know about voting this year.
Ballots opened this morning for next year's student government representatives, including class senators, executive positions, school senators, class presidents and treasurers, and 6 new initiative senators. The beginning of the election cycle left many students worried when applications for executive president had to be extended due to a lack of interest in the position. Current junior class president Robin Falco explained that the situation wasn't necessarily surprising.
Over junior and senior year, people are really trying to figure out what they're prioritizing on campus. So I know a lot of people who currently served or previously served in student government kind of chose to prioritize some other things and therefore maybe weren't considering student body president as one of those positions that they wanted to run for, to prioritize.
After an application extension, one candidate emerged for the role. Falco emphasized that while the executive president role is important, she hopes focus will shift to contested positions.
People don't think of it as super impactful because there is only one candidate running for student body president, but there's plenty of other ways to be represented in the student government, whether it's voting for your class senators or voting for the initiative senators. We have a lot of contested positions this year, which is really important.
Abby Gravely, Elon, Local News.
Information on the candidates can be found on our YouTube channel, Elon News Network. Be sure to cast your ballot before 5 p.m. tomorrow.
We have a special guest in our studio tonight, Student Body President Britt Moley. He is here to give us the rundown of elections this year. Welcome, Britt. So we were just wondering, how do SGA elections work?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the spring, we vote on our executive members. And so kind of what's different this year, at least, is that the executive president or student body president, and then we will also have an executive vice president that are on the ticket. I know I came on the show a couple weeks ago just talking about the differences and the changes for our Constitution. And so bigger change that you will see is that the Vice President of Finance and the Vice President of Communications will no longer be on the ballot. Again, those have moved to a more interview-based model, and we're excited to get those started as we figure out who our exec are going to be tomorrow.
Awesome. And
yeah.
why would you encourage students to vote on campus?
Oh, absolutely. We have joked around this year, but it's really serious, is that you are voting at the most localist level ever, right? Being in student government elections, right, we have a lot of influence, right? We have a lot of information and a lot of ability to advocate for students and on behalf of students, to faculty, staff, to administration, and then also to the town as well. I've been able to do a lot of work with the town this year, especially around some larger events. And so it really is a place where students are representing you and the interests of the student body. And so you want to make sure that you're voting for the right person.
Right, and when you're voting, we were just wondering that this year, why did you struggle so hardly to find certain candidates?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with that, student government is not absolved from the other issues that organizations are having on campus. We find that students are really getting engaged with the things that they truly, truly care about. Not to say that folks don't care about SGA, right? But there's some other things that might be important on their minds, right? But what I'm excited about is the fact that we have some new faces in the race this year, right? For example, the class of 2027's senators race is very contested. Same thing for the School of Education. There's 3 there's 3 candidates running for 2 spots, and that's a seat that those are 2 seats that we never thought would be contested ever. I remember 2 years ago, we fought to only have 1 school ed seat, and we bumped it up to 2, and now it's contested, right? And so we're just really excited for those races and excited to get the vote out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was great. Thank you so much. That's all we were wondering.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, up next, a look into the week ahead with your Phoenix 5-day forecast.
And we have tips and tricks for how traveling for the most popular spring break destinations.
Thank you.
Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text to emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Our Mackenzie cruise is live outside the Citron Plaza on this day. Mackenzie, how's the weather looking for this week?
We refresh them at least once a year.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry for those technical difficulties.
Thank you, Rachel and Fiona. It's nice and cool out here in Citron Plaza, and after a warm weekend, we're looking at a much cooler week ahead. Now for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Tonight will be a low of 30 and partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow we'll see plenty of sun with a high of 56. Wednesday will warm up with a high of 68 and mostly sunny skies. Thursday will have more sun and a high of 59. Friday will be cloudy with a high of 55 and spots of rain in the afternoon. And finally on Saturday we'll have some clouds and winds at 13 miles an hour with a high of 62. The first day of spring is upon us tomorrow at 11:06 p.m. That means that the sun will be directly over the equator and will continue to move north until the summer solstice. And tree pollen will continue to be high this week, so be sure to close your windows at night. Thanks for checking in. Now back to you at the studio.
Thank you, Mackenzie, for the update.
Spring break is only a few days away. Before leaving campus, make sure you grab your suitcase and lock up your dorms. Whether you're going home or going on vacation, our Abby Gravely has some travel tips before you leave campus.
Spring break is upon us, and whether you're going on a trip or going home, we've got some travel tips as you leave campus. Gas prices are currently averaging $3.31 per gallon in North Carolina. Here are gas prices to be expected in some of our most popular spring break destinations. In the Outer Banks, $3.31. Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head, and Panama City all have gas prices of $3.24. Duval County, Florida, has a gas price of $3.41, and Miami-Dade has a gas price of $3.51. For our friends traveling north, drivers should expect to pay roughly $3.50, depending on their location. Here are some specifics. In Richmond, gas prices are looking to be about $3.40. In Northern Virginia, $3.53. In Baltimore, $3.55. In the Philadelphia area, $3.23. In North Jersey, $3.25. In Westchester, New York, $3.50. And in Boston, $3.25. If you're flying home for break, here are some travel tips and things to know about popular destinations. The State Department has announced a Level 2 travel advisory for the Dominican Republic, Cancun, and the Riviera Maya, warning travels to exercise increased caution. It is important to note that Haiti, which shares a border with Dominican Republic, is experiencing general social collapse and unrest. So be alert for any effects that might have on your travel plans. Popular destination Puerto Vallarta has a Level 3 advisory, warning citizens to reconsider travel. Individuals making trips should inform the U.S. State Department of their plans and should avoid leaving resort properties as much as possible. For those going to the Miami or Fort Lauderdale areas, reminder that Miami Beach is implementing increased controls and deterrences against spring breakers, issuing a midnight curfew for South Beach and increasing patrols. Miami is hosting Miami Music Week and Ultra Music Festival this weekend, so if you're attending or will be in Miami, be aware of large crowds and exercise increased caution for pickpockets as they're prevalent at these festivals. 140 state troopers are being deployed to 17 popular spring break cities, and multiple municipalities like Miami Beach and Fort Lauderdale will be instituting DUI checkpoints, so make sure that you're driving safely. Remember to arrive at airports up to 2 hours before domestic and 3 hours before international flights, as it's a busy week for people traveling to and from spring break. According to the TSA, passenger volumes are up roughly 3.5% for the current travel period. That's all I have to you. Now back to you at the desk.
Hope everyone has a safe spring break.
The Ad Hoc Conflict in the Middle East Programming Committee was formed on campus after the October 7th attack. Their purpose is to educate students, faculty, and staff about the Israel-Hamas war. The committee hosted a panel titled Identity, Trauma, and Justice, the War Between Israel and Hamas. Our Benji Stern has the story.
Professor of Political Science and Policy Studies, Barish Keskin, sat with Mira Sukharov, a professor of political science at Carleton University, to discuss the difficulty of having conversations about the Israel-Hamas war.
There are a lot of terms in the context of Israel and Palestine that are very much contested, so much so that it may cause friendships and family connections and all.
Professor Carrie Eves, associate professor in political science, who serves as the co-chair of the ad hoc committee who brought Sukharov to campus, talks about the decision to bring in an academic perspective.
Well, we're a university, right? And so that's our job, is to teach students to think critically, to examine things from a disciplinary perspective. And so bringing a political scientist who thinks about that and uses those definitions can be helpful and, and give us a framework to work from.
Sukharov believes that preliminary conversation about shared values can prime a conversation to avoid getting sucked into a zero-sum game.
So what I try to always urge people to do when I'm in that position is, rather than saying who do you stand with, to say what do you stand for.
Elon sophomore Natalie Sindawi speaks on how everyone can benefit from Sukharov's message.
She did a good job of kind of differentiating different terms and how it can be kind of interpreted in different ways, which I think is very important for both sides to understand.
Elon sophomore Ashley Githay talks about the importance of defining vocabulary.
You need to explain the terms that you use. You have to explain it because, for example, like Zionism, she explained people can take that in so many different contexts.
The Ad Hoc Conflict in the Middle East Programming Committee is sponsoring another lecture on April 8th with Jonathan Kutab, co-founder of the Palestinian human rights group Al-Haq and Nonviolence International, to pose the question, is peace possible in the Middle East?
To hear more about the event, head over to our website, elonnewsnetwork.com. Up next, an innovative student competition that promotes problem solving and a chance to win some money.
And a unique Beatles concert after our break.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Elon Local News.
The band Yesterday and Today performed an interactive concert playing songs by the Beatles. Yesterday and Today hosted a unique concert experience in McCrary Theater. Attendees are encouraged to write down their favorite Beatles song and explain their reasoning behind this choice, making up the set list for the night. Having memorized every Beatles song released, they are prepared for anything. Unfortunately, the Elon News Network was not granted permission to film their performance. Pianist and bass player Matthew McGuigan was excited for students to see this special performance.
I hope that they come and they get the best Beatles show that they've ever seen. We do something a little different. They're used to probably seeing people in wigs and costumes. We avoid that completely, and it's just about their experience with the songs.
Matthew isn't the only McGuigan in the band. 3 of these brothers love to make music, especially as it reminds them of their childhood and their dad. MC and performer Billy McGuigan said their father had a huge impact on their music taste growing up.
We lost our dad when he was pretty young and we were young, so this has always been the glue that held us together and the only thing that we've really been good at in our whole life.
Elon freshman Braden Walker came to this concert in hopes to learn more about the Beatles and what this music has to offer.
My family, I know they've been talking about the Beatles and they listened to it when they was little and stuff, so I just want to learn, see how good it really is.
Yesterday and Today have 3 more upcoming concerts to give audiences everywhere an unforgettable Beatles experience. For more information about Yesterday and Today's upcoming concert, visit their website, www.billymcguigan.com/yesterdayandtoday.
Last Friday, contestants officially registered for Elon's annual Innovation Challenge. The Innovation Challenge is a contest conducted by the Doherty Center for Creativity, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. This year, they're challenging contestants to think outside the box. How can Elon encourage students to break out of their comfort zones and explore new opportunities across campus? Student co-chair of the Innovation Committee, Owen McBrien, says they want to create a connection across schools.
Last year was it felt a little bit closed off. This year what we're doing is we're inviting every student in the entire school from all 6 schools to come together and create an idea that can create connections between the different majors across campus.
On top of the grand prize of $2,500, the challenge is intended to give entrepreneurs a chance to test their skills. McBrien says even if students aren't interested in being an innovator as a job, the challenge allows them to work on problem-solving skills. In the eyes of the coordinators, this challenge is a chance for students to grow.
Everybody has ideas, right? Good or bad, everybody has them. What they're going to get out of this is the ability to speak in front of people and present those ideas and get out of their comfort zone to kind of be able to present their ideas. So whether that's in a finance firm, going up to their boss and saying, hey, this is what we could have done differently, or just creating different ways to kind of step out of your comfort zone and just get your ideas out there, because that's ultimately what gets people moved up in companies. That's what gets people promotions, everything.
With registration ending last Friday, contestants now move into Phase 2 of the challenge. Product pitches will begin on April 16th, and anyone is allowed to watch. Up next, an exciting event held by the Gender and LGBTQIA Center.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul,
Estimated time 47 hours.
they will beg,
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
they will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Elon Local News.
The Elon Gender and LGBTQIA Center hosted its annual Kiki Ball, a celebration of queer, trans, and people of color culture. Elon alum Ref Pernsley came back to Elon to host and perform in the show portion of the ball as drag queen Stormy Day. She says that as someone who has started the drag extravaganza at Elon, it's important to have events like the Kiki Ball at Elon.
And so LGBTQ peoples everywhere, stand up, vote, be out there, be yourselves, live, fight.
For more information about the Kiki Ball or other events held by the GLC, you can visit their office located in Mosley 209.
Our Michael Wolf is live in studio to give us this week's social media recap. Michael, what do you have for us?
Let's take a look at what's trending this week. The 55th annual NAACP Image Awards were held this Saturday in Los Angeles by the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which nationally recognizes adult and youth members of the NAACP for the work that they do to improve their communities, educate others, the masses, and identify problems within their community. The host, Queen Latifah, announced the winners, including her for Outstanding Female Recording Artist, and this year's Super Bowl halftime performer, Usher, picked up both the most Outstanding Male Recording Artist Award and the President's Award for his longtime dedication to giving back to his community. Oprah also made headlines with her look at the event. Well, it's making quite a splash this week on social media, but the 2024 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship picks were announced this week, and you can get your bets in online with lots of more funding coming to sports betting here in North Carolina. That's all for your social media update this week. I'll send it back to you, the desk. desk.
Thank you so much, Michael. Be sure to tune in every week for our social media recap.
Well, that's all the news we have for you this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
And head over to our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, for stories, sports, and more.
And make sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
Have a great night, Elon.